softwares that they use, just to, like during lunch and maybe offer that. And I'd like to collect some of those to be able to share with other people. That'd be great.
Yes.
I think for us, I want to emphasize that we have started a couple things within our CSA, but we're very young at this sort of, we're like toddlers. We're running around putting things in our mouths, and we're saying, no, don't do that. And we would benefit from sort of this sort of large community or other CSAs who are involved who might be sort of in the same, working towards creating a committee or creating new sort of trainings to become more culturally aware, because it helps us. It gives us feedback on ideas to implement our RCSA. So even if we locally, maybe we're Western Mass, if you know of any sort of cultural committees or any sort of cultural movements that we can link into, so we can also get some of that sort of parenting guidance on how to go about and sustaining our committee, that would help.
My computer's strategies, so
Okay.
I'll keep writing.
Well, this is actually a good time to move on to this quickly to the next thing. You know what I'm hearing is that there's a hand.
One more.
Yes, please.
Oh, I was just talking to my supervisor, and I was saying one of the things that could possibly help with engaging families if we had, say, after that first visit, a little generic 10-minute video sort of introducing them to strengths, needs, and discoveries that could be universal for everyone.
Okay.
And, just because sometimes people are more visual than just hearing. So if they can see a little clip, they may be more apt to, okay, I can do this.
Okay. Maybe one thing that we can, maybe a couple of things we can do. One is that, that's an excellent comment. We don't know exactly what you're looking for. How can we, talk about what we need? We have all your email addresses. So let's say from now on, until you said, drop me out of this email blast, is that we will actually provide you as much as possible all the information in regard to cultural linguistic competence, the more current information, and also in the area of disparities, because that's a big ticket item under healthcare reform. We will give you those information. Then if you see anything that you are interested, send an email back to me and say, and I want to look further into this area, if you can, so that we have a sense of what you are interested in. How's that as a first step? Yeah. And then maybe the second step, we'll do a survey monkey, after we do that for a little while. And then I think we'll look into, in terms of, any possibility of a kind of a clip, video clip about the, about how do you engage family after the initial sessions and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even one to present to the family. It's not for us, but to sit with them.
To sit with them.
Right, and just give them a little synopsis of strengths, needs, and discoveries, and how their profile as a family could be a benefit.
Maybe little clips of a family creating one, because nothing speaks like examples, so they could see it. And then they're like, oh, the family did that, they did that, and then you just build from it, rather than starting from scratch every time.
Right.
That's a great idea, I think.
Like redacted ones kind of to them as an example to say, this is what we're trying to create for you.
Right, and everyone is going to go with their own way of presenting themselves.
Right.
But if we come out with this little universal snapshot, and then after that, you can introduce your ideas and things like that.
Right, jumpstart the process, so to speak.
Actually, that's a great idea.
That is.
You interested, Kim?
Yes, very interested. Okay, very good. I'm with you. All right.
Okay, yes.
And you mentioned getting out maybe more current, additional current information about, in writing documents for purposes around cultural competence. And the binder you gave us has, I appreciate all the work that went into it, and there's certainly, as you said, seminal documents in here, but they're not necessarily that user-friendly for everybody. And I wonder if there's some other training documents around this issue that are a little less sort of academic and more staff-friendly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And I don't know what's out there.
And I don't know what's out there. It's really, I think today is the greatest example of using, that one instrument. And we have a lot of discussions. And, and now it's even another suggestion, maybe we can do a clip so that, it can be shared with other families. See, I think that's what community of practice is about, not for us to dump information, say this. But at the same time, which I also respect about, well, if you don't know what to ask, you really don't know what to ask, so as well, as I said, I will give you the general information. They might not apply, they might not be very useful, but maybe just the broad idea might help. And then we'll try to figure it out. I think that's an excellent question. I think that's the goal is to, what's working, what's happening right now with CSA, specifically serving cultural linguistic population. I think that's important. And then practical stuff that I'm hearing.
And how to sustain, I think, also, sustain the cultural competency that we're trying to do. We're trying to do a better job, a diverse job, and really communicate and understand the culture of the family. So how do we measure that? How do we talk about it here? Where are we? Where have we learned and where are we moving to? And how to sustain it? That's something we're starting this. I like to say that we're going to be talking about that we're going to sort of have stages and to see where everybody is, because I like to, we're doing something that we started because of our discussion that I think should have started a long time ago for our CSA. That's my perspective. So I'm glad that we got sort of the sparkle going, but so what? Now the work begins now, right? So a lot of support on that. That's what matters, and we're going to be coming and discussing that. Where are we? And then discussions that relate to this. And to our growth, because again, we're meeting here as a committee, all of us. I think it would be great to know where everybody's doing it and how do we get to the next stage.
Well, I'm just also thinking if there's a way, and I talked to Oma, certainly I'm coming to your agencies and join your group and just really observe and experience how you're going to take that growth, to the next level. If there's a way to share with the other CSAs about what you all are doing, I think that would be wonderful too. I mean, this is the forum.
If there's a way for you to share where you started from the beginning, that'd be great for us. Because again, like Omer said, and I said at the beginning, we're Pampers and diapers here, and so you have been doing this for a while, and I believe you're the director of the culture. So you've done this a lot for a long time. So. That's what I want. I want to pick that brain and give that information so we can do it. Not, right?
Well, I think part of it is it's all, different agencies are at different places and also commitment and interest. I think that the most effective is, if you're interested, I'll come to your organizations and you could be just purely focused on training. So we have to then brainstorm about, okay, what training is meaningful to staff and so forth. If one organization is about gathering data, which, at one point in the early stage, one organization did mention about, data gathering, which, nowadays very much ties into the whole healthcare reform, about, pediatric medical homes and so forth. I can come and we can talk and we can work on that project. So I see myself as, available, for each CSA. Again, this really depends on what you all want to achieve. And based on that, we can work together. But I think the more important thing to me is how can we share then with each other, with the other, group. Because maybe that's something that they're also interested. Maybe they haven't get there yet. Maybe they're just starting to wear the diapers. I think we all like learning how to walk.
They like this diaper thing.
Learning how to walk. Yeah. Okay, with that said, we will follow up with you. Now, we're going to have the end of the grant event next Wednesday. We just want to quickly capture in terms of what you think we should do. We have some ideas. Meredith?
Yeah.
Tut?
Tut left.
He had to go.
I want to be cognizant of time because I know it's now a little after 12 o'clock. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to briefly just tell you what our idea is, and then I'm going to send an email around. And if people want to add or give suggestions, that would be great. So Tut, who was here earlier, and I have been putting together those picture collages from the 3 community of practice events, and Tut is putting it into a slideshow along with some of the quotes that we got from the icebreaker of I am this, but I am not this, that we're going to weave into that, just to kind of give a snapshot of who we are as a group and who we aren't as a group. And we were going to play that. He's thinking of some music to put in the background, but that will be shown on a screen as kind of part of the celebration. We will also have a table, and so any ideas of what we want to present on that would be great. So we don't have to brainstorm now, but I'll send an email around today probably, and people can bounce ideas back and forth. Does the slideshow idea sound okay at this point? I'll make sure all the pictures are beautiful and
Instagram? We'll do the Instagram? Yes.
Instagram, yes.
Thank you. And we do have another evaluation for you because we actually learned a lot. Unfortunately, I just did not have a chance to kind of give you all the statistics and so forth. So if you can complete this one, we will certainly send that to you, well, I would say a month from now, just to aggregate all the information, including this one. Certificate of attendance is also available for you on your way out. So after you finish your evaluation, we'll give you a certificate of attendance. So thank you.